So, hello guys, in this video we are going to talk about population and sample, right? So basically, this is the topic that we will cover in a statistics. So basically, when we are trying to perform any operation on a data, right? So the first question arises in mind is that how we can collect the data. So basically, there are two type of there is a two type how there is a two type to collect the data. The first type is population and second type is a sample. So first of all, if you are trying to collect a data in a school, right, where you will find a student in a limited amount, in a finite amount, so it's not a very hectic task. It's not a very hectic task to do. You can easily identify, you can easily get all the data from students, right? So a student, all the students in a school, in the school, this all student here working as a population, here used as a population, right? Now if we use the same thing and we want to calculate, sorry, we want to collect a data from the whole India, a specific information we want, right? Or we can say that we are going to count the population of India, count population of India, right? So Indian government count population every 10 years. So during 10 years there are some villages or there are some tribal villages who don't want to give their data to Indian government or census agent. So at that, in such case, our data will be biased. Data will be biased. So is it affected our data? If our data is biased, then what is the problem, right? So if our data will be biased, then there is a problem. The first problem is we cannot process the data and we cannot come up with a conclusion. Come up. So here is I come up with a conclusion on a biased data, right? Why? Because whatever conclusion we made on this data, it will be a bias. It will be a biased conclusion. So at some case our conclusion will be wrong sometimes, right? Most of the time, not just sometimes. So after that, to prevent such cases, we are going to learn, we have a second problem, we have a second type, it's called as a sample. So instead of going to everyone and get the information from each person, information from each person, we are trying to access, we are trying to generate some groups, right? Suppose this is the whole India and this is some of the states. Here one, here is the one, here is the one. Okay. So instead of going to each person and ask the information about that person, we can create a group of people and we are going to ask the information from that people. So here I'm going to get this whole people information and make them name as a group one. This I do the similar thing, this group, and generate the conclusion for group 2, for group 3, and so on, right? So whatever conclusion I've got from group 1, group 2, group 3 and group n, I will be merge this conclusion and come up with a different conclusion. Merge, come up with a different conclusion, different conclusion that prevent my previous problem that I've made in population part, and here we resolve that problem and we have whatever result we have, that will not be biased, right? So in such cases, if we made a conclusion on such data, on such samples, then our result will not be biased, will not be biased, right? So this is the population and sample, and probably you know that how you can use sample, and in which cases you can use the whole population to process the data, and in which case you have to get a sample from the data and after that you have to process it, right? So thank you for the watching.